All right, late night One Piece video, and essentially I watched Film Z, and overall really enjoyed it. Definitely not my favorite, not my least favorite. Kind of hovering somewhere in the middle, if I can remember all the One Piece videos or movies that I've watched. Easily, nothing's topping it ever. The sixth movie, Baron of Omatsuri or something like that, I cannot pronounce the name, but it is One Piece does horror, and it is flawless, and it is beautiful. I love the art. I love everything. This is not a review for that movie, but I love that one. That one's my favorite. Film Gold is probably my second favorite, just because Casino and Heist, I love that so very much. Nothing's really beating those two things. If everything else being equal, I'm going with the Heist movie. Strong World is number 3 because it's wonderful, Nami-centric, and I really, really, really love Strong World. Film Z would probably go after that one, and we'll talk all about that movie in this video. After that, we have Film Red. Still enjoyed this one very much. Bit more of a musical, but overall fun time experience. Plot-wise, maybe slightly enjoyed it less, but still had a really fun time with it. Have I watched any other movies besides the one that's in last place? No, I don't think I have. So, Stampede, Dead Last. It's not that I hate that movie. It was more spectacle than story. So, there we have the movies that I've watched. So let's talk about Film Z. I overall just really loved all the characters in it. They definitely feel like themselves. The plot's really great. It's kind of, I feel like it's more of a what I expect from a One Piece movie. I especially love moments like Luffy does not care about the fate of the world and the hundreds of thousands probably, of people who could be affected and die by the situation that's going on. You took his hat. He's coming for that hat. And that's all the motivation I need. You didn't need to tell me anyone else was in danger. Like, you took his hat. He's coming after you. And that is very Luffy. So the story begins with some Jurassic Park nonsense, though, what I'm thinking, but then I didn't get dinosaurs, so that was a little disappointing. But basically, this former Marine, now head of the Neo Marines, is stealing dinosaur-looking eggs that are not actually dinosaur eggs, but they do explode and cause a whole whack of damage. Also, the cat was getting into mischief, so I looked away from the screen for a minute. When I looked back, I seen a flash of their pirate Jolly Roger. They're not pirates. They're not pirates. But their symbol. And for a second, I thought it was the Whitebeard Pirates. And the fact that they got my hopes up for Whitebeard Pirates to play any role in this, and then them not be there, I was very upset with. So we blame that mostly on the cat, but still. So Zed, the leader of this Neo Marines, can I call them pirates, even though they hate pirates? And he's stealing the eggs, and who was it? Kizaru shows up, and he ends up using one of the eggs that explodes and nearly kills everybody. Kizaru barely survives, and in my opinion, I don't frankly care, because where we are in the current manga and Egghead, he has betrayed me too many times for me to, like, I'm questioning his motive, so at this point, he deserves whatever he gets. The explosion is so severe, though, like, the island is devastated. Ash is raining from the sky, and the crew of our beautiful Straw Hat crew are just having a fun time when the ash starts coming down, and, like, Usopp's putting pesticide on his plants, and it's going into the drinks, and Zoro's just like, makes my alcohol taste funny, but I'm still drinking it. Chopper passes out. Like, there's a whole thing going on there, when all of a sudden Luffy eventually sees a man overboard. So they have to rush him in, and it is Zed. And they bring him in. Luffy, of course, loves the robot kind of arm that he has that's made of sea prism stone. So when they had brought him in, Luffy had grabbed the arm, and that obviously made him be very sick. Now, Zoro is very rightfully, we don't know who this guy is. He could be an enemy. Should we even have him on board? He could try to attack us, put him back overboard. Chopper's having none of it, just going, he is my patient, I'm a doctor, I'm healing him, I'm treating this man. And Sanji later on makes a very good mark, like, you are a doctor, you're also a pirate, which means you get to do what you want, and as a crew member, we will support you, and we trust you as our doctor, so don't second guess yourself, because it's something terrible that happened afterwards. They get him in It happened previously. So they get him in, Chopper's healing them up. He, of course, wakes up eventually because our glorious doctor is fantastic. He praises Chopper. Chopper does this whole, oh, you can't just praise me thing, and it's so cute and adorable. I do love Chopper. I really wish we got more with him in terms of character work, besides the point. And Zed here recognizes Luffy as the captain, and all's going well. They're bonding. It's lovely. It's wholesome. It's nice. Then when they ask if he's a Marine, Zed says no, but he used to be. And when Luffy says it would cause problems if you were, he asks why. Well, we're pirates. Cue instant fight. This man immediately tries to kill everybody. Sends them flying. Luffy is pretty much useless with the Sea Prism claw that Buddy has. And eventually, because he has that life card thing, his crew comes up and they start attacking as well. The girl whose name I never did learn has a revive kind of fruit. Editing Jessica, apparently my brain decided to stop working. The revive is Brooke's fruit. Return fruit is what she has. And I'm very upset. I'm upset mostly because a thing happens in the manga that I had thought would be like a revive or resurrection fruit. My thought, though, was when you die, you get reborn at the age of when you ate that fruit, so like a souped up version of Brooke's fruit. But it doesn't exist. But we have a revive fruit, but it does something different. Every time she touches somebody, they go like 12 years into the past, and you can age them out of existence. So Nami gets turned back into a child. Robin turns 18. Usopp makes a very uncalled for statement saying, you must like being 18 again with everything back where it should be. Have you seen Robin? What the hell are you on? Regardless, Chopper also gets aged down, as does Brooke. He feels 70 again instead of, yeah. I love Brooke. I do love Brooke. Luffy ends up fighting Zed, of course, and loses. This is what got me with this movie. Repeatedly, the Straw Hats are losing badly. Not just a little bit outmatched and have to run away to regroup. They are completely outmatched. To which Zoro and Sanji just are like, they took us by surprise, we'll get them next time. But Luffy completely losing power with the, because again, that Sea Prism stone arm, is in Zed's grip, and he says, I'm going to be the king of the pirates. And Zed is mocking him. You are mocking Luffy's dream. You're done. You're as good as done. It might take a little bit of time, but you're done. And he learns Luffy's full name and recognizes him as Garp's grandson. So, stupid, past Jessica, who knows nothing, is just like, oh, cause he let him go, and it's like, you'll die with the rest of the pirates. Like, oh, he's letting him go, though. He's giving him an opportunity to escape because he's Garp's grandson. I will take that. I will take whatever saves my darling boy. No. Him and his crew go away, and then they blast the Sunny with cannons? Are you kidding? You are hurting the ship. You do not touch the ship. The ship is off limits to you. The Sunny is being destroyed. Frankie's freaking out, but he's wrapped up in a plant attack thing, and he can't get away. Luffy, my darling boy, Angel, wants nothing more than to go after Zed, to leap over the ship, go there, and continue his fight. But thank the love of God, he is a glorious captain who would never abandon his friends and crew, and knew that this was not the correct decision. He has grown. He's grown to know that. So he turns back to Frankie, rips off helps him get out, rips off that so he can get the Sunny out of here, and knows they have to flee. Luffy knows he cannot continue the fight. Thank love of God. For the record, if this had been like before the time skip, probably even before Drum Island, Luffy probably would have just continued the fight, because it took time for him to learn that just because he is able to fight does not mean his crewmates are, and he has to think of their safety before rushing into battle. So he's learned that decision, that choice a long time ago, or learned that lesson a long time ago, and knew this was the time to flee, to run. They also probably learned that on Sabati. Oh my God, Luffy's learned a lot. So Coup de Burst gets out of here, and they end up on a small island to recoup. Now, one of the things I love is they split off into two groups. So the ones who were more likely to cause a ruckus and cause trouble, namely Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, and I think Brook just went with them too. That being said, he's a walking skeleton. Kind of easy to pinpoint that he's a Straw Hat. So they go off to more or less a hot spring area, sauna business place, just more or less stay out of trouble while everyone else is going out looking for information on where Zed is, because the captain has made a decision that he wants to fight him, and the captain has made a decision, so they're going to follow that through. Oh, I missed a moment. So before they even found Zed, when the ash is raining down, Nami looks at the log post, and there's the 3 arrows pointing in the different directions, and one's going crazy. She assumes because the island has exploded and it doesn't really know where to go or if there's even anything left, and the other 2 are pretty stable. Usopp being like, listen, we can't go to the crazy spinning island, pick one of the other 2 destinations. And she's like, obviously, my job is to get us somewhere safely. Of course I'm not going to pick the crazy one. Yeah, also don't let Luffy see that spinning one, because he's going to want to go there. I know that. I'm not going to let him see it. Luffy comes in. Ooh, that one looks like fun. Let's go there. And they're like, no, no, no. And he's like, I want to go there. And Nami is like, my job is to get us to where the captain wants to go. If that's where you want to go, I will navigate it and I will get us there. And I love it so very much. Back to the hot springs. They're just chilling when Kuzan shows up, and he is fresh out of the Marines, having left, got into his fight with Magma Bastard, and the crew are freaking out, like, what the hell, are you here after us? And he's like, no, I'm not after you, but I do want to have words with you. And I do like that they didn't even realize he had left. He's no longer an admiral. Like, that information hasn't filtered down to them. They haven't got it in the newspaper. They don't know about his fight with Magma Bastard. So I do like that. And when they're questioned, like, why did you leave? He's just like, I just caused a little bit of a mess. Nami, even though she looks about, I don't know, what, 10, if that, is working at, oh, she probably looks like 8. My God, she's in a bar serving alcohol. What the hell? That's not a good place for a child. Anywho, she's getting drunk Marines, more drunk, and convincing them to tell her, she's just an innocent little child who just wants information to feel safe. So they're telling her pretty much everything she wants to know about where Zed is he on the island, what's he after, and Robin is dancing on a stage, being a distraction but also being help. Usopp's acting as manager, and Chopper's like shining shoes outside. They're all trying to collect information on where Zed is. So when Nami gets that information, another Marine comes up like, hey, you just spilled a lot of secrets. You're gonna have to come with me, little girl. Robin immediately ties him up with the hands, and they take off running. They have their information. And that's when they all run down to the dock, and Kuzan has more or less told the rest of the crew some more information. They all team up, and Kuzan reveals about the endpoints, I think it was, and that's basically a bunch of volcanoes that if he destroys them, will essentially flood and destroy, wipe out, burn down the new world. Because he hates pirates so much, he'll do anything to eliminate them, no matter the cost, including all the civilian lives that are there. Luffy's a little bit more on the he mocked my dream side. I need to fight him. So he is going to find him no matter what. One other moment I loved, when the Nami, Robin, and Usopp and Chopper and them was running away from the Marines, it was Luffy who showed up and just like, yeah, I'm handling this. So he's walking down the bridge looking awesome. And they're like, hey, Captain, good to see you. Leave one alive or leave one conscious so we can ask them questions. They're all yours. And it's just Luffy, because he told everyone else to stay back, on this bridge, and they're charging, outnumbered. But really, no. Conqueror's Haki out. Everyone collapses except the one in charge, and that's who he gets the information from to track down Zed. And I'm thinking, awesome, big showdown. We just had an awesome fight here. Not an awesome fight. An awesome example of Conqueror's Haki on the bridge. It was not a fight. It was not a competition. Everyone just dropped. And I love it when Luffy is able to do that. It's just glorious. And they find out where Zed is. So they're going for their rematch. It's going to turn out great. No! They lose again. Granted, Sanji and Zoro's fight's more just run away, but the Dino Egg gets set off. We have lost the second endpoint, whatever it's called, with the volcano erupting, lava coming down on us. Luffy loses to Zed again. That metal arm sea prism stone made one is brutal for him, and he is kind of like not afraid of it, but he knows if he gets caught, he's losing his power, so he's trying to avoid it. And Zed takes his hat. His hat! When Luffy says, no, that's Shanks, that's Shanks' hat, I have to return it to him someday. He's like, I will bury this with the rest of the pirates. The emperors mean nothing to me. They'll die with the rest of them, especially for not taking me seriously. And I'm like, he took his hat. The man took his hat. No, can't. You just signed your own death warrant, as far as I'm concerned. But he blasts Luffy, and Usopp ends up finding him, and they're getting away in a banana boat while the lava's coming, and they get on the sea train, love the sea train, to escape as this island just burns. This man, Zed, does not care about anything. Don't care the destruction he leaves, the people he's hurt. Kuzan had to save a couple civilians, but like more civilians likely died. And then, so eventually they're all back on a different island. They're making their plans. They're going to decide what to do. Kuzan explains about the endpoints and the destruction of the New World. If they don't stop him, he's going to trust that the Marines are going to try, but it would be great if the Straw Hats could also help because, hey, innocent civilians, I know you're not going to want to let this happen. And Luffy's just like, I don't care about any of that. I don't care that he's going to destroy all this stuff. None of that matters. He took my hat. I'm going to go get it back. So they go back to the original location where they had went for a break before the hot springs to get some weapons that was promised to them. And there's this little kid, and he's just like, I want to be either a Marine or a pirate. Which one's more cool? Which one will make me a hero? And Luffy does not push him one way or the other. He's just like, follow your dreams, do whatever you want to do, be whoever you want to be. And I love that, and it's very, very Luffy. Everyone feels so much in character. These movies really capture the core of who these characters are, and I would gladly recommend this as like even like an entry point. Okay, maybe it'd be a bad entry point because you do obviously Kuzan's that he leaves the Marines is a little bit of a spoiler there, but like it's a good introduction that feels like a good concise story to present to somebody. It's like, this is One Piece, this is why it's amazing, you fall in love with these characters instantly, and I just love it. I really do enjoy this movie. Now, we also learn why Zed turned against the Marines. The Marines deserved it. 100% deserved it, because this man was loyal. Completely loyal. He rose up the ranks, became an admiral at like the youngest age. He got married, he fell in love, got married, had a wife and child who were killed by pirates, targeted because of his position in the Marines. And he still stays loyal. He hates pirates. And he's obviously very upset. He resigns as an admiral but stays as a teacher and trained up some of the strongest Marines that we know today. And then his crew, the people he was training, are attacked by pirates. He loses his arm. Only 2 of his students survive, the 2 that joined the new Marines. And he stays loyal. You're kidding me. He doesn't rush off to be a vigilante. No, he stays with the Marines. He's loyal. He gets his arm. And he's vowed to go after all the pirates under the Marines flag and all that. And he wants justice. Then the pirates, I'm pretty sure I don't think it's the same pirate who killed his wife and child, but like who slaughtered his crew and students, is appointed to the warlord position. Is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised that he decides to go off and like leave the Marines? Like, I will not find justice here. I'll get it on my own, regardless of the cost. You made him a warlord. I don't know which one. The internet tells me it's Weevil, but I'm not very good with the timeline right now. I'd have to look up the timelines of where this falls into, because my immediate thought when I'm not sure where this is taking place, I'm like, it's probably Doflamingo. Dofi would do this. All right, so 3rd time's a charm. They go to they have an internal log post to get them to the final endpoint thing and go to where Zed is. And when they get there, obviously you have Marines, you have other the new Marines, as well as the original Marines, and they're all fighting. Frankie comes in with the robot Frankies, blasting them. Chopper turns into a giant puffball with a bunch of cannons around him and is knocking everyone out. Nami's using the lightning attack, even though she's small. She still has her battle baton, and again, electrocuting everybody. So it's going well for them. Luffy's making his way. Sanji's taking care of the plant guy. Zoro's taking the one with the revive fruit, and he's able to eventually defeat her. So Nami and Chopper and Robin and Brooke all get their bodies back. Of course, Brooke makes a joke about it. And Luffy finds Zed, who says you're too late. The dino egg explosives are already placed. They're going to go off. There's nothing you can do to stop them. And Luffy, in full character, is just like, yeah, I don't care about any of that. I'm here for my hat. I will never be able to face Shanks, and I will not be able to become king of the pirates if I'm not strong enough to beat you. But mostly I'm here for my hat. And they start fighting. And like conquers Haki in the arm, or armored Haki, and is able to like dent and beat that arm that Buddy has, eventually breaking it off to reveal a smaller arm that's probably not Stone Prism. They continue to fight and fight and fight, and this is just endurance at this point, because like he's gone into, I think, at least gear 2, maybe gear 3. Yeah, gear 3. To fight him, and they're both getting tired. Zed's showing signs of fatigue, but Luffy's also exhausting himself. And by the end of the fight, Luffy falls first, I think, and Zed afterwards. They're both out, but Luffy is able to stand up again and finally beats this guy. It took 3 tries, but he got there. Don't mess with his hat. Zed tells Luffy, all right, finish me off then. And Luffy's like, no, I got my hat back. So if you want to keep fighting, we can do that. I had fun. And Zed's just like, I had fun too. You're a good kid. All right. Get out of here because I got one more thing I need to do. So he's going to go off, fight the Marines, basically buying the Straw Hats time to flee. Kuzan makes a wall of ice so Zed's students can't follow after them, and the Straw Hats are able to escape. And Zed ends up fighting all the Marines, even in his weakened state, even how tired he is. Even that is not really enough. He takes a lot of them down, and they really have to go all out to fight him. And he remained true to himself and what he was standing for, which was the destruction of a lot of innocent people, before finally being taken down. And his students and Kuzan arrived to his funeral, or graves marker stone, to pay their respects and remember him as the man he was. Again, a guy who wanted to kill a lot of people, but I guess he kind of realized he was on a bad path as he reflected on his childhood and wanted to be a hero, and probably knew that killing a bunch of innocent civilians was not a good way to do that, but, you know, stuff happens in life. Other parts I absolutely adored about this movie. You have Kuzan singing basically a song that's sung during Marine funerals, and he said it's always felt a bit morbid and sad. The song choices in this were really good. What shocked me, though, was the credits was a Nickelback cover. Like, I love Nickelback. They were my favorite band in high school. So to hear someone else singing This Is How You Remind Me, I'm like, this is a choice for the movie. And I'm so shocked by that. I didn't even realize Avril Lavigne was also credited in this song, or in this movie. And I'm just like, what is going on here? The music choices. I'm happy with them. I'm very happy with them. So overall, really happy I watched this movie. It was a great time, and I would recommend this to pretty much everyone. And I would probably use, again, it would make a really good introduction to why I love One Piece, just to recommend a movie to somebody and be like, here, this is great. It'll get you into the series. But I guess it has technically too many spoilers. So there's that. All right. I will talk to you later. Bye.